I'm reinventing myself. I'm me and nobody else. Ooh, I can't help but smile. 1 to a million. There's so many different reasons why I like you.
Hello everybody and welcome to another one of these things. Today I'm in the beaches area of Toronto. Locals, I know at least, call it the beaches, plural, but the city for some reason decided to settle on the beach. Apparently there was some kind of poll, which I don't believe at all because everybody I know calls it the beaches. Anyways, I'm out here with the VILTROX 75mm again, VILTROX 75 1.2, because it seems as though you guys can't get enough of this lens. But this time a small difference, and that is I'm using a K&F Concept 1/4 black diffusion on here. I've used black diffusion filters before, usually Tiffin's, but this time I'm going to try to see how this K&F black diffusion works out. I have used some of their filters before. I'm using one of their NDs on my camera right now to shoot this with the 16mm Sigma. Anyway, yeah, let's see how this works out.
So once you start seeing these banners, you know you're in the neighborhood. A lot of Toronto neighborhoods have their own brewery, and the beaches is no exception. There are endless great places for food, and endless great places to eat that food. We've been wanting to do the Break Walls patio for a while, but haven't had the chance. We've had some fun times here. This is the Stone Lion, or formerly known as the Lion on the Beach. It is a bit of a hangout for the band The Beaches. You did not hear that from me. Another local celebrity and all-round nice guy is Paul, the neighborhood crossing guard. This is one of my favorite historic fire stations in the city. Stationed in front of the station, Paul's friend Mary, and a cool car in the background. There's that MG again. Lots of cool cars and bikes. She's standing in front of Queen compact cars, not sure if a Corvette qualifies. The Beaches has some of the highest dog ownership in North America. Yes, there are actual beaches. This is Q Beach. This is Lola. It looks like something was weighing on her mind. I was channeling my inner Wes Anderson for this one. The colors and the bloom from the diffusion filter helped a lot. If this chair looks big,
Because it is.
you can pretty much see the tower from anywhere in the city. Great day to be out on the water. This guy Michael was patient enough to help me out. These two are really nice and let me get a few shots of them working as well. Always somebody out shooting when I am. Love the color of this guy's shirt and the rest of the colors in this. More local color. My favorite skate park is in the Beaches. This kid was landing every single move. BMXs also welcome. In the field next door, this awesome water tower and this detectorist. I know what a detectorist is because I'm a geek. His name's Pat. Pat was so cool. He found this. It's a Canadian dollar, a loonie for those who don't know what it's called. Pat also found this post-apocalyptic looking iPod. It's buried under the field where they did this a few weeks ago. Buskerfest. I shot this with the 75 as well at 60 FPS. This guy was awesome. And managed not to crush his fingers or burn them. I had no diffusion on the day we were at Buskerfest. This guy had a flea circus, apparently.
It's not hard to say how I feel.
And this is Marmar, my girlfriend.
So here we are back again at my humble home and studio. I thought that the beaches was a perfect location for testing out that K&F Concept black diffusion filter, the 1/4 black diffusion filter. 1/4 is usually a little bit strong for outdoor stuff for me. I'll usually use a 1/8 if I'm using diffusion outdoors, but for this one I thought it was fitting to have diffusion that was a little bit heavier, because I don't know, I kind of feel like the beaches is one of those neighborhoods where you want maybe a bit of a dreamier vibe, you know, and so I thought it was a little bit fitting. I didn't use just the black diffusion filter. I used another K&F filter actually over top of the black diffusion, a 3-stop ND. The reason I've got the 3-stop ND on there is because most of those shots that I was doing were wide open at 1.2, and you can see it was a pretty sunny day, so I was shooting everything on the FX30, and the FX30 shutter speed tops out at 1/8000th. And that means that unless I was stopping down, there was no way I was going to be able to keep my exposure under control. So 2 K&F concept filters on there. So about the title and my concerns as to whether or not I've jumped the gun on this lens. Those concerns are probably unfounded, because whenever I go out with this thing, I find that what's coming out of it, I'm loving it. And apart from maybe things that may be out of focus, and there was a comment that I made on a previous video that maybe I'm not nailing focus as often as I think I should be with this lens. There was somebody who made a comment that it may be partly because of some user error or what have you. I mean, Sony's autofocus, it's pretty foolproof actually. But I find with this lens, if you're pointing the focus in the right direction, as in you're using your touch to focus, your like manual focusing point, and giving it sort of the area to focus in, and you can anticipate that the action is going to move to a certain area of your frame. It is nailing focus, and nailing focus quite well actually, and I'm really accustomed to using it that way now after a few weeks owning this lens, and I can't see myself ever getting rid of this. Now, to bring me to what I was talking about in the title, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Andrea Pizzini. He's an awesome YouTuber, and he's the guy that a lot of Sony people count on for leaked information, essentially. He seems to have an inside track on anything new coming from Sony directly or aftermarket lens manufacturers, and he's just recently put out a video regarding a whole bunch of new E-mount lenses coming out, and 2 of them will directly compete with this, for sure. One of them is a Meike lens. It's an 85mm 1.4. 85mm, even though it's a little bit slower, a touch slower than this, at 85mm, that's gonna create some incredible background blur, some really nice bokeh, and so that will definitely compete with that directly. And it's of interest to me because I like those longer focal lengths for the portrait stuff. Many of you know that I replaced my Sigma 56mm 1.4 with this lens, and one of the reasons was I wanted a little bit more reach, because I had previously owned the 85mm 1.8 from Sony, amazing lens, and I was kind of missing that reach for my portrait stuff and even for street stuff. So that's why I made the move to this. So seeing that Meike's got this lens that's an 85 1.4, a very attractive prospect, having that focal length combined with a lens that fast. An even faster lens is one that's coming out from Sirui. Sirui, it's been a bit of a mixed bag quality-wise from them. They've done a really good job apparently with a lot of these anamorphic lenses. So because they've been doing lenses sort of in the cinema space, and I suppose this lens I'm going to talk about next is kind of like a lens that you could use in that sort of cinema space, which is cool because that's definitely of interest to me as well. But this Sirui is a 56mm, like the Sigma that I got rid of, but it's a 1.2, which is very, very interesting. So those are two lenses that I'm kind of looking to see what the reviewers say when they're officially released. And but I am pretty confident I'll be holding on to this one. Everything coming out of this is it's just been really great. And now that I kind of know what I'm doing as far as focus with this thing, and it could be, at that 75mm focal length too, that the focusing just needs a little bit of help. And once you're accustomed to doing that, man, you really start nailing shots, So on the topic of autofocus, I can just imagine when I get my hands on that A6700 with its AI-assisted autofocus, that this thing is really going to shine. Anyway, I hope you guys got something out of this one as usual. If you did, consider leaving me a thumbs up. If not, that's okay too. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of these, please consider subscribing and turn those notifications on. Until next time, keep working to make your chosen idea reality. Peace.